Welcome to our Google AdWords tutorial. In our second video, we'll set up your AdWords account. In this video, we'll go through the process to set up your first Google AdWords account. It's fairly straightforward because Google does prompt you every step of the way, but there are a number of areas that you might find confusing, so this video will help talk you through those so you can set up an account as effectively and as easily as possible. Let's begin on the Google AdWords front page, which you can access at adwords.google.com. Or you can just go to the Google main page and click on Advertising Programs, then click on Google AdWords, and we're back on the same page. Let's click Start Now. First, an aside. It's possible that when you first see this or any of the screens I'm about to show you, they may look somewhat different than they do here. Obviously, this is a web-based service, and Google is constantly changing things. Some are minor, but some make a huge difference. However, the fundamentals have stayed the same for a long time now. Years, in fact. Almost as long as Google AdWords has been running. So I will mainly talk you through the fundamental options and what you'll need to be aware of. That should serve you well even if you're viewing this video and want to get started with Google AdWords several years from when it's being recorded. As you can see, there are two main options. Starter Edition and Standard Edition. I'll focus on the Standard Edition because that's the full-featured edition. And even though there's more potential for confusion using it the first time, these videos will explain the steps you need to take and hopefully eliminate any confusion you may have. So, we'll click on Standard Edition and continue. The process starts with AdWords asking you a series of questions so it can set up the advertising campaign. This actually isn't that important now because we're just looking to set up the account, and you may not want to think too much about launching your advertising campaign. For example, I like to take a measured approach rather than having to make advertising decisions immediately. So let me talk you through what I generally do. Target our customers by language doesn't really matter that much. Let's just select English and move on. Next, you see they're asking for target by three main types of locations: countries and territories, regions and cities, and a location you can customize. Obviously, you can see that you can get progressively more localized. For now, let's just stick with a wider area and click on Countries and Territories and continue. Now the system asks us to pick the actual country or territory we're targeting. In this instance, you can see that it's selected the United Kingdom by default. But in the drop-down list, you can see what Google considers the main countries of the world. So let's scroll down and also select the United States. So we'll be targeting the US and UK in this example. Again, we click Continue. And now we're to the page where we can put in our first advertisement. Since I don't like writing under pressure while I'm just beginning setting up an AdWords account, what I do here is simply type in "This is my headline" as a placeholder. For description line 1, I might type in "This is description line 1." As you can see, there's a length limit for the headline and description lines, and if I were to keep typing, I reach the character limit, and from that point on, I can't enter anymore. So let's backspace to "This is description line 1" and enter "This is description line 2." Now the system asks for a display URL. This is the URL that appears beneath the advertisement for people who see your ad when they've conducted a search, as we explained in the introduction. So let's just type in www.mysite.com. Now, in terms of the destination URL, you may want to have your display URL be your home page, but you might in fact want to send your visitors to a more focused landing page. For example, mysite.com landing page 1.html. For right now, we're not going to focus on this, so for now let's just leave it as mysite.com. Note you can also choose between HTTP and HTTPS, but again, this isn't all that important at this stage. So click on Continue.